Welcome back to part 2 of our nested if functions. We left off from the previous one talking about understanding the table and the data and looking at each section of the spreadsheet. So let's go back to our spreadsheet for part 2. In part 1, we solved how to use a range to determine sales commissions. But sometimes we just need to know if something is low, good, or best, and we're going to categorize it. And we did categorize low, good, and best was really to build a nested if equation. This one was actually not so bad. Yes, this is a commissions table we put together, but really it's not a commissions table. It's more like a performance table. So let's just rename that to be a little more descriptive. Now with the performance table that we have here, what we're going to do with the performance table is we're going to build a series of if questions. The first, we're going to start with the low, and we're going to do the same thing as we did last time. So the criteria is 200,000. We'll start with the criteria here. So what we'll do is we'll say equal if the value in this cell is less than or equal to this value, which is the threshold, then it's a low output. They're not selling that much. They need to sell more. Otherwise, comma, put a 1 for placeholder because we wouldn't be inserting an if statement there. Close the parenthesis, and we should hopefully get the low, and we do. So the condition is 200,000. It's true. It's low. Now let's go ahead and do the next one, the good condition. We're going to say, we're going to do a separate if. We're going to test our ifs individually if they work. Equal if, open paren, this value is less than or equal to this value, which is 299,000. If that's the case, then we're going to, well, we're going to give it a word good. Otherwise, what do we do? So if it doesn't meet, if the first criteria we got, the second criteria we got, now we just need to cap it. Well, if it's not 299, what that means it's something else. So something else is best. It means it's above 299, which is really our threshold. 299,001, or 299,001.01 penny. We'll give the next one. So we close it out with the best. We could do this in 2 equations. Just like the first video, we'll copy the if. You know, I'm not doing a relative copy. I'm just doing copying what's in the cells. Hit the X so I won't drag anything. Paste it in. That's the first criteria, which is low. It's 200,000 low. And then the second criteria, I copy everything, but I don't copy the equal sign. I close it. I come back, and I get rid of the 1. I replace the placeholder with the second equal, and boom, it's there. So what happens is if I go 299, it automatically initiates the good criteria. I'll make that right, justified. The good criteria is justified, and if I put 300,000, it hits the best because it hits the else criteria here. Note that this at 50,000, it actually meets both criteria. But remember, the way the if statement works, what it does, we hit the function builder for you. Like last time, what it'll do is it'll hit the first criteria, it'll answer it, and it will just stop. It won't continue further. So therefore, you can constantly build it up. But you need to do it in hierarchy. When you start building your nested ifs, if you put it in a hierarchy, it exits the equation. It starts the if equation, and it will exit once it hits its criteria. So you want to do everything sequentially. You just don't want to mix it randomly. If you mix it randomly, it won't work. So you need to do it that. So I hope this video was helpful. Show you how to build something relatively quickly. These are complex equations, like you saw. This one was a pretty big equation, and you can see it here. On the true, you set first, it's all sequential, and then the other one. I hope this learning video was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Put something in the comments.